Hello. Okay, so let's talk about asthma today. Um, Anyone with asthma needs to remove all dairy from their diet. So, yogurt, cheese, milk, whatever. If it's dairy, it's got to go. It is causing an autoimmune response, and the presentation is happening in the lungs or the respiratory system. Maybe you don't have asthma, but you get really congested all the time, or you struggle with a lot of mucus production somewhere in the sinuses or the lungs. It's all the respiratory system. Dairy is a culprit. So remove dairy. There's going to be a pattern you're going to start to notice. Cut out the sugars and the carbs and the grains. Everybody can do better with less of them. We live in a culture that eats way too many of them. So for a time, we've got to get really strict and buckle down so that the body has a chance to heal, which is essentially a fast. And fasting is biblical. There's many reasons for it. And if it's very hard for you, you feel like you can't ever succeed and that overwhelms you, then that's the evidence of us trying to do it in our own strength. So first things first, the Lord needs to be a part of any change, any major change. He needs to be a part of our life all the time. So you pray and you invite the Lord into that space and say, Lord, I don't feel like I can give up these foods. Like, this is too hard. And he will be faithful. He honors your heart and he wants to help you with it. So ask him for healthy desires. Ask him for self-control. Self-control is a fruit of the Spirit. It's one of the bookends of the fruit of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. So anyway, invite him in, let him help you. Stay on your knees. That's where your strength comes from, okay? Coconut oil, child 1 to 2 spoonfuls, adult 4 spoonfuls a day, any which way you can get it in. And a person with asthma almost always has low stomach acid, low hydrochloric acid. So they need a hydrochloric acid supplement, or they can take some raw apple cider vinegar with every meal, a teaspoon to a tablespoon. Doesn't matter if it's diluted or straight, however you can get it in. Just be careful. You don't want to swish it around in your mouth, and over time it could hurt the enamel on your teeth. But you've got to be getting in some version of acid until the body can heal, and we heal the gut and the body can start producing it on its own. So that's going to take time to build up the liver and the spleen and kill off candida overgrowth in the body to get the body producing it again. But it can produce it once again if you do this right. As far as supporting the body with asthma or these respiratory problems, severe respiratory allergies, here's what you do. Any product that I mentioned by name, you can get from my website at happyhealthychristian.com. And everything's wholesale cost, and everything is amazing, pure quality. So all of that is nothing that you would have to worry about. So the Silver Shield that you've heard me mention before is often part of anyone's protocol because it's amazing. It has over hundreds of benefits to you. So you take your bottle of silver and put it in a nebulizer treatment. So if you have a child or you have to do nebulizer treatments often, for 1 month, I recommend doing silver breathing treatments. So the same amount of steroid you would put in there, you would substitute with silver and do a treatment once or twice a day for the first month. And then add a product called Lobelia Essence. This is a liquid herb. It's God's best bronchodilator. It will automatically open up the lungs. So you're using 5 to 10 drops of the Lobelia Essence, closer to 5 in a kid and 10 up to the upwards of 15 max for an adult. You kind of have to play with it and figure out what works best. And just combine the two, do a nebulizer breathing treatment, and you will start to see results. So this is going to support the body. It's not going to crash the immune system or shut down the adrenal glands or stop the body from producing its own corticosteroids, which is what's happening every time you take a steroid. So when you're breathing that in, it goes straight into the bloodstream. If it's a steroid, it is causing so much damage, and you're just beating down the body at the same time we're said to be treating asthma. It doesn't make sense. So use it as you have to in the beginning as your body's still trying to heal, but you will find that as you do these supportive protocols, that your body's going to have less of a need for the inhaler and the steroid treatment over time. And I have worked with many, many kids and given them these simple protocols, and I'm going to show you the rest of it here in just a second. And it is life-changing. It takes so much stress off the parents. Breathing treatments are stressful. Watching a person who cannot breathe is terrifying. So this stuff works. If you have a child, I talked about the raw apple cider vinegar. You can use, I have a kid's enzyme product called Whole Foods Papazyme. You can do 1 to 2 per meal for digestion for little kids. It's chewable and it tastes good. Or you can give them raw apple cider vinegar if you want to dilute it and make a little tea out of it with some raw honey and lemon, make like a lemonade detox tea. That's okay too. You can see if it helps, but they're still really bloaty and gassy, then you probably need to add a supplement because their body's just not producing anything at this point. And then last, this is would be your daily maintenance for anybody with respiratory or chronic respiratory problems, asthma or chronic congestion. It's called ALJ. So the adult formulation comes in a capsule, and I would take 2 per meal. And then there's a child's version, a liquid one. So just take that as directed. Now with this product, it's a drying herbal formulation. So it's going to dry up the mucus. So here's the deal. If you're taking what I've just told you and you feel really thirsty or your eyes are feeling dried out, then the dose is too high and you need a little bit less. You can't hurt yourself with it. You're just going to get really thirsty. If you notice it's really helping, but you still have some mucus left, or if you're doing the child's dose and they still have some mucus left, and a lot of kids have really severe asthma, so they need, a 1.5 to 2 times what the bottle says sometimes. And I have adults who need 4 capsules 3 times a day in the beginning, or if they're going to come take my spin class and they have asthma, they'll take 4 capsules before they come and spin so that they don't have to use their inhaler, because they know they're going to have to use an inhaler or some sort of support that's going to knock them down. So it's better to use God's medicine. So there's a time and a place for all of this stuff, and it's amazing what it can do and naturally opens up the lungs in a healthy way without doing further damage to the body. So as doctors, it doesn't matter if you're a natural or a medical doctor, we swear under oath that we will first do no harm to the human body. So the fact that there are all of these alternatives, and I'm giving you 5 minutes of information, and I could talk for hours and days and weeks and years on protocols to help people. It's just not necessary to do the other stuff. Thank God we have Western medicine in case of an emergency, when it is a very severe asthma attack, and you may, like I said, have to do touch-ups or rely on it in the beginning as you're getting better and you're starting to support the body, because it takes time to truly heal. But you will get to a place, if you do it right, where you won't have to use that stuff anymore. I've watched many people overcome asthma. So they say asthma cannot be healed. That is not true. All things are possible with God. Amen. So hopefully this blesses somebody, and feel free, again, you guys, ask questions and I will continue to make videos to help you out. All right. Bye-bye.